Let's go. Good luck hosting the draft. I can't remember where that like spin the wheel thing is though. Random wheel spin. Vertex. Okay, Survivalist is conceding host. Fair enough. That does simplify things a bit. Okay, let's get the draft up and ready for you guys. So copy, spectate, and then I'll post it in the Discord. And then, yeah, Vertex, if you can just do the host. Oh, no, Vertex already posted it. Okay, there we go. Join the Vertex's one. Survivalist has just said let Vertex host. Yeah, it just makes it easy. Oh, we're already going. Jeez, I wasn't ready for this. We're in the draft, so Survivalist has banned the Lac so maybe he's just fearing the early pressure that like Cool managed to get out. Vertex banning the Sumerians, and that does leave the Greeks and Egyptians for Survivalist. Blimey. Whoa, I don't know if I like that. But Shang Hittites and Mace, though, for Vertex, still pretty good. I mean, you can only use Egyptians once, however strong they are. So, and like I said, Chosen being picked by Survivalists. Like I said, in the Dawn of Ages tournament, the Chosen did very well in the Citadel's map. Again, Persians, not a huge fan of the Persians myself. I mean, we're absolutely thundering through this draft hit. All right, say my name. Well played, well played. And Minoan's picked up later on. Carved Foe. And I don't think that was random because he picked that pretty quick. Again, Babylonian's been ignored here, which upsets me slightly because it's one of my favourite civs on the Citadel's map. And so actually, Palmyrans. So it's Romans that go to the wayside this time, and Yamato didn't get picked either. Like I said, Yamato, for me, it feels like you have to get to the Iron Age and get to those horse archers for them to really be able to contend with a lot of the civs. And who else didn't we? We didn't. Oh no, we did get Assyrians in, and yeah, it's just the Romans, Yamato. I feel like it has to be one more civ, and I can't figure it out just yet. Oh, Babylonians, of course. Yeah. Right. So. Yeah, the Latvia can be very dangerous early on with that because they get the faster military production. He watched. Well, we'll see what happens in this game. My AOE2 Rex has just gone a bit wonky. But it's interesting that, yeah, maybe a Survivalist just didn't want the early aggression, like I said, that the Latvia can put out. And he did manage to grab Greeks and Egyptians for himself. Vertex managed to get Hittites and Shang, though. Are you playing in the Warlords as well, say my name? That's good to see. Let's maybe have a look, actually. See if I can get that Warlords bracket up again. See if we can find Say My Name. Are you in the first qualifier? No, apparently not. Maybe the second one. Doesn't say you're in it, dude. Oh, you're going for the second qualifier, alright. Make sure you get in there, man, because it's always fun to watch you play. If I'm not streaming like another tournament for AOE1 at the time, that is. I mean, just to qualify for the event, Say My Name probably doesn't have to play those players. Like, I think the main event, how many players are in the main event? I'm trying to figure it out, actually. Yeah, 16 players. In fact, yeah, so Hero Viper have already been invited. So, Say My Name definitely doesn't have to play those. And so is Leary and Yo. But any hoozle, let us focus on AOE1 for the time being. Tasty prize pools, yeah. Well, there's a lot of competition in AOE2, so you've got to be the best to get that money. How much was it actually? Let me get back. 50k, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's have a look at it. So you get 1,000 if you qualify for the top 16. That's pretty nice. But as I said, though, there's a lot of competition in AOE2. There's a lot of good players in AOE2 now. And looks like they're just sorting out the hopefully we get this sorted. I can't see the game. I think the Egyptians are beatable, but they are definitely very strong. Like, some civs are just economically stronger in the earlier phases of the game. Yeah, I mean, they do have that as well. They are a very strong civ in the Bronze Age. Yep, those are the bonuses that the Egyptians have. I'm not seeing the lobby. I'm hoping. Yeah, that's true. I think the only bonus they're really missing is like a siege bonus. But like, because their siege is actually pretty bad, but just having this strong, having the stone throw available is enough in the Bronze Age. You don't need any bonuses really. Having a siege bonus is nice. Like I said, I think that's why Mace is a lot stronger now than I thought I previously gave him credit for. I'm not seeing the. Oh no, there we go. That was weird. Like I couldn't see when they were like setting up the lobby. I couldn't see it, but now that the game started, I can. So I don't really know what was going on there. But we are into game one of. I didn't actually. Where's my capture age? Did I close it and not restart it? I think I've closed it and not restarted it, like a numpty. Get that open real quick. There we go. Sorry about that. So, chosen for Survivalist as his first pick into the Shang. And I think most players would give the advantage to Shang here. Survivalist has quite a nice area at the back of his base to build into later in the game, though. Actually, sort of similar maps. Maybe slightly better for Survivalist in just terms of maps. And forward berries for both players. So no hidden back berries like Cool had in the last game, even though he missed it. Let's have a look. See. So like I said, in the Dawn of Ages tournaments, the late game of the Chosens won a couple of games on the Citadel's map. But that was very early days of RTR. And we have Vertex and Survivalist here to maybe show us a different plan, a different way of doing it. He's not going to rush, you think? I mean, Vertex, I feel like the onus is on Survivalist, right, to try and do anything in the early game. Because I feel like in the Bronze Age, the Shang is just stronger than the Chosen. The Chosen need to get to the point where they built up enough economy that they can just keep flooding the field with the swordsman units forever. I mean, it's definitely going to be difficult for Survivalist, I think. But we'll see if he's got... Maybe he has some hidden plans up his sleeve. Like I said, I don't know how much he's really played AOE1 since he played in the 2v2 tournament. I think he enjoys playing the game, but obviously, he's mostly an AOE2 player. And that's his main game. Vertex building his first storage pit on the wood at the back there. A little more distant to go, as his closer woods not the best. Forward villager, 20 vills Vertex. So it actually looks like Vertex. Oh yeah, I do need to change the title. And we'll do that quickly, actually, as we seem to... Looks like we're going to get some action fairly quickly. Oops. Let me just... But yeah, Barracks going up forward already from Vertex. That's me that I'm listening to that. So we are now Vertex versus Survivalist. Okay, hopefully that updates the title of the stream. And it's a little bit far away from Survivalist base there, so it's going to be a little bit walking distance here. In fact, their club is gone. Oh no, that's a villager there. Oh, club is not even out yet, but he does find the wall now. I don't know if Survivalist spotted that Vill there, but he obviously knows that Vertex is in the tool age now. Barracks goes down immediately as Survivalist realises he's probably a little bit in danger. And it's going to be Clubbers, Axes in the early game, early tool before the Slingers come out. Is this another Barracks? Just an archery range again. So going for a sort of similar approach that Cool was attempting in the last game as the Persians. Again, though, a storage pit forward. Interesting. On the stone. Only a single barracks, though. Survivalist has more than enough food to get to the Bronze Age. I think he's... No, he has enough. He has enough wood to just go for the fast bronze. Question is he going to actually go for it, or does he feel pressured here? He does have time to just build another wall. Yeah, walls in behind his bow. Actually, oh no, there was already a bow there as well, so maybe this wall gets denied. I think Survivalist needs to give up on this, unfortunately, as he's kind of thrown away a couple of villagers there. Slingers are coming in defense, which I think is pretty good. Double archery range though, so it looks like... Okay, market going up now. I was going to say maybe Survivalist giving up on the Bronze Age. And Vertex already pushing the early pressure here. No Slingers yet though, so these Axes are just going to very slow. It's got the additional villager doing some work there. Needs to give up on that wall, I think. He needs to maybe trying to like his base is very wide open though. And yeah, Survivalist already in a little sticky position here. And the walls. This wall is actually open, so Vertex is actually already in. I guess maybe there was like one tick of building on that one wall then. But he is in. Tower goes up. Chosen Towers obviously with the extra 2 range. That's interesting actually, it doesn't show the 2 range yet. Oh no, Survivalist is the Chosen one. I'm being an idiot here, sorry. Vertex is the Shang. And yeah, good number of ranged units for Survivalist now though. Should actually be able to deny the tower here. Maybe take this fight. Just needs to kill the Axes with the bows. And the tower is probably going to go up though. But this is a decent response from Survivalist, as the army numbers are pretty equal. Axes getting good damage in on the Slingers though. Tower going up's going to be a little bit awkward for Survivalist though. If he can keep adding in the Slingers, he should be able to deal with this. But yeah, as I said, Survivalist completely gives up on the Bronze Age there, and instead opts into the Tool Age battle. Survivalist is actually on 33 villages as well. He's been keeping that idle TC. It's only just starting to creep up now. And so he's actually 5 vills ahead of Vertex, despite Vertex being the Shang. And actually, yeah, it looks like Survivalist managed to catch out one of the forward vills. So only 2-for-1 trade. And Survivalist actually in the... I think he might be a little bit behind in resources just due to idle time. Oh no, he's actually way ahead. Way ahead. I guess those 2 villagers forward cost him a lot of eco for Vertex. Alright, Billy. Keep it civil. That's all I ask. Yeah, maybe. I've not really been focusing on Vertex's side of the map as of yet. Like I said, if Survivalist can get like another 3 or 4 slingers, he should be able to like try to force this down. There is still a reasonable number of military units for Vertex though. I think that was maybe the wood upgrade that Vertex wanted, not the domestication there. Yeah, it's like the AOE2 players just have really, really solid eco and macro control, just because like it's such an important factor of AOE2. It's like even aggressive play in AOE2 is usually has to be followed up by solid eco. You can't go as all in as you can do in AOE1. And he is going for those walls, trying to box out this area. He's run out of stone though, so we'll have to mine a bit more if he wants to do that. And storage pit does go up on the stone. This does give Survivalist that like he only has to defend 1 point now though, so this is actually quite nice for trade for Survivalist here. Does lose quite a few of the slingers, so that said though. I don't know if stone mining is in, not for Survivalist actually. I'm trying to select an individual unit. Stone mining is in for Vertex, which is a pretty big advantage. Bronze Age is clicked for Survivalist, so Survivalist thinks he can hold, which, I mean, if Vertex keeps adding slingers with that stone mining upgrade, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Survivalist to hold this. I don't know if Survivalist is aware of the stone mining upgrade giving that upgrade. The +1 range and +1 attack. Yeah, the Slinger's just pushing in now. So yeah, once stone mining's in, the Slingers is basically just a better unit than the bows for the most part. Axe is being added now, so trying to counter the units here, but the Slingers should be able to get some decent damage in now. Survivalist nearly at the Bronze Age though. Is this barracks? Yep. And Watchtower and defense, but Watchtowers don't do so well against the Slingers, as the Slingers resist most of the Watchtower damage. And maybe trying to build a stable in the back. He's got no gold though, is the big problem. Does he just try to go short sword straight away when he hits? No, he's not going to get any gold, like I literally just said that. What am I saying? He is going for the infantry techs, it's just going to be axe of the time being. Villager count is now in the favour of Vertex, since Survivor spent all that time trying to get to the tool. 8 villagers in the town centre. There's no food eco. He does have the farmers at the back, which is going to hold him in for the time being. Maybe a few too many villagers on stone at this point. He was trying to grab the stone to seal this off. Government centre, as a wise man said, don't think's the play in this position. I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess he could maybe get an extra TC down at the back. Wouldn't be too bad. Walls in the wood line. But Slingers, like I said, can basically just ignore the tower. In fact, it might be worth trying to get Sentry Tower at this point. And then the tower would actually do a reasonable amount more damage. Okay, Axe is actually in here. And it looks like Vertex isn't really paying attention. So, there's a few more Slingers here. Survivalist doing a pretty nice job, though, of holding this. As Wheel does come in, extra TC does come out. 2 more TCs. Let's have the wood. So actually, Survivalist... but Vertex now onto the way to bronze. Tower creeping forward. Survivalist needs to get his eco back up and running, but I guess he's trying to focus on knocking out these Slingers for the time being. Vertex switching into the bows. So like I said, if Survivalist could maybe just get a few villagers on goal and get out a few cavalry units, he could like sweep all this up. But a little bit difficult for the time being as he's a little bit strapped for resources. He's just going to go straight into the short sword, which if Vertex gets a decent amount of bows, they still do bonus damage to the infantry. So they effectively have the same attack as a composite bowman against infantry. Vertex teching into the cavalry though, so it looks like it is going to be the cavalry switch as he is moving on to, yeah, a little bit inefficient storage pit, but it's got all the villagers gathering gold now, so cavalry is going to be the option. And Bronze Shield is coming in for Survivalist, so yeah, he's trying to get in on the infantry, but he hasn't quite done enough to deal with the forward. Extra TCs working at the back could be good for him, but the addition of the cavalry, I think, I mean, saying that, the axes still have the bonus damage against the cavalry, so he's going to need like maybe like 6, 7, 8 cavalry units to really push this home. Nice little choke point for Vertex here though, and Survivalist deletes the range there to try to get his units in. Just really just trying to beat this back, give himself some space to work with. Stable goes down, so now Survivalist goes for the stable. Might actually be worth, I was going to say maybe, the stone gets ranged though, I was going to say maybe try and get a couple of more of those chosen towers up, just with the extra range. First wave of cavalry comes in, and most of these axes are already been dealt with, and GG! Survivalist taps out. So that was a pretty intense game there. But Vertex, I mean, Survivalist, I think, played that pretty well, considering. Like I said, maybe the addition of a stable a bit earlier on, before adding in the extra TCs, and trying to get on that gold, just to try and clear up those slingers. But he went for the axes instead, and it was sort of working for the time being. I think maybe he shouldn't have tried to push under the tower here, but it was going to be very difficult for him as soon as the cavalry started coming in from Vertex as well. So, yeah, Vertex pushing it. But like I said, Survivalist was ahead on eco for most of the game. And, yeah, in fact, yeah, just about still ahead on resources by the end, just because of that very solid, just continual eco production in the early game. Gave himself a nice villager lead. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just one of those cases where you got to the Bronze Age and didn't quite have the eco to move into any of the Bronze Age units. So maybe you should have just stayed in the Tool Age, actually, thinking about it. And try to, like I said, maybe add in some extra slingers, get rid of these, and then go to the Bronze Age afterwards. But then there's a question of whether or not Vertex just gets to the Bronze Age up behind it. There's a lot of questions to be asked, but no, it's still pretty nice game from both players there. But obviously Vertex going 1-0 up. So hopefully it should be some more close games. And let me restart Capture Age again. And AOE2 Rex seems to be having an absolute hissy fit at the moment. Hopefully we can get it working for you guys. Yeah, AOE2 Rex is not playing the game here. Let me just try and reopen it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get AOE2 Rex to actually work here. It actually seems to be loading up. Might just have to do the direct link for the... Oh, okay, there we go. We finally got going. So, let us get in. So, game 2 is going to be between the Hittites and the Greeks. So, two very solid civilizations, in my opinion, for Citadels. And I think, arguably, Hittites are one of the best equipped civilizations to deal with the Greek hoplites, with their chariot archers having that extra +1 damage, helping them kite out the hoplites much more effectively, the very speedy Greek hoplites. So I think I would give the slight civ advantage to Vertex in this game again. But if Survivalist can get the hoplite mass going, then that can always be pretty hard to deal with. Also, I know Survivalist is a big monk player in AOE2, so you might take advantage of the free text that the Greeks get for their monks in the Bronze Age. I think it's the astrology and the whatever the other one is. Is it monotheism they get for free is the other one? I think it's the extra health and extra conversion speed ones they get for free. So they can make their priest very strong out of the gate. So don't see as many players use that as the Greeks. Like I said, usually I just see the hoplite spam as the go-to, occasionally with like just a few cavalry units added in at the start of the Bronze Age just to clear up any early aggression. You didn't find your elephants? I didn't notice that. You should always have two. What a noob. No, it's good games, man. It was good games. Very solid play by yourself. Yeah, so, I mean, again, I say this every time Hittites get played, but they don't have access to the slinger, which can sometimes make them a little bit more vulnerable to that early slinger play. But Greeks, not that strong until they hit bronze, though, so it's very rare that you see them go for any tool age aggression, on Citadels especially. Nice. Did that gazelle go down there? What is with these? What icon even is this? Is this like one of the hero units from AOE2? Which is like, I don't recognise that. Anyway, get a little bit distracted there by the AOE2. Sorry, the capture age not being fully updated for RTR, but it is what it is. And tool age is coming in on 20 vils for Vertex, though. So maybe Vertex is... Like I said, they don't get Slinger. And there is no forward villager. So I'm not entirely sure what the 20 vils is about. Survivalist going up on 24 vils. So a little bit slow, but only a little bit. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if Vertex... Barracks at home. Maybe you just thought Survivalist would go for the aggressive play. And maybe he's just trying to cut this off. Barracks goes in, well, just nearest villager build to the barracks to waste as little time as possible. But yeah, this is interesting by Vertex. Like I said, maybe my only thought is that he maybe thought Survivalist would try to go for some sort of slinger rush, because like I said, the Hittites can be a little bit vulnerable in the early game to the slingers. Oh, actually, just noticed Vertex has the magic hidden berries. Saying that, Survivalist actually has quite cut-off ones as well. But again, I think it's going to be... Oh no, he does actually see it. So Vertex is going to probably be able to take advantage of that and gets to delay his farms for a while. But yeah, it looks like it's just going to be Bronze Age for both players. Let's see. Yeah, buildings just going up now. Stable and market for Survivalist. And in fact, this is going to be basically the same. Oh no, there's 30 seconds idle time already from Vertex. A little bit of idle time as we just wait. So 26 2-vil advantage for Survivalist, and only 10 seconds I think behind it was on clicking up, if my numbers work out correctly there. So pretty nice position for Survivalist at the moment. bow comes out for some air exploration. What? Rip Survivalist. I mean, I think he's in a pretty good spot at the moment. Obviously, the Hittite's getting the much faster researching wheel does allow them to get those chariot archers up and running very, very quickly. But Survivalist is not too far behind, and we'll see. Just early scout comes out. It's going back in. Got a little bit scared there. And yep, Vertex does spot the jackpot berries at the back there. Bear gets a little bit involved in the combat. Village does come forward, so maybe this is just going to be some forward archery range placements. Or maybe just even just forward Siege Workshop, but it's only just going on to gold now. As yeah, you don't really need to go forward archery ranges with chariot archers, just because obviously they're so mobile. So maybe this is just like a forward Siege Workshop and full push. Wheel coming in for Survivalist. I imagine the Government Centre as well. Yeah, because he always goes for the eco approach. And he needs to probably... Looks like he's going to... Oh, he's doing a long berry gather there. Hopefully Survivalist noticed that, because it's very bad efficiency for the eco there. And it is a forward Siege Workshop. First run of chariot archers already coming in. Survivalist actually going to the outside berries as well, and this bow might actually spot this. That would be very annoying for Survivalist. I'm just going to shoot the wall though. And oh, forward villager gets spotted by the scout, so Siege Workshop actually gets denied. That's pretty big, because that's going to give Survivalist a lot more time to just sit behind these walls and get his eco going. It's actually an extra town centre there. Again, I maybe like Survivalist tried to sneak in a bit of a wall behind this, because that eco is a little bit exposed at the moment. But, yep, okay, another villager comes forward. Oh no, it looks like what happened to the scout? Scout's over here. I guess the chariots. Okay, so villager stayed alive, and so the Siege Workshop will go up. And now the push begins, and I think Survivalist needs to think about trying to produce some sort of military now. Let's take out that pesky bowman, and this might give him the chance to try and wall this gap up, which I don't know if Vertex will go around there. Like, it's not... I wouldn't think it was like the first fort that you go for. Oh no, maybe he will. Oh, maybe not though. We'll see. Storage pit upgrades coming in for the cavalry. And cavalry in decent numbers can deal with the chariot archers, and in fact Vertex looks like he's housed at the moment, so he can't build anything, but the production for the military is kind of slowed down for the time being, and cavalry units coming in like I said, but arguably just going straight into the hoplite at this point would probably be better for Survivalist. Maybe you can use the cavalry to snipe the stone thrower that's now in. It's going to break through this medium gate pretty quickly. 3 cavalry units in now. Does have a couple of stables making units. He's building a 3rd stable here. So he's just thinking that the cavalry approach is the way to go at the moment. As the chariot archers break in. 4 cavalry to hand at the moment, with the Hittite +1 bonus to their chariots and only the single pierce armor on the cavalry. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Survivalist, I feel. Is this okay? Temple, so here we go, we do see some priest play potentially from Survivalist. Might try and use that to try and get some conversions on the stone throwers. Cavalry numbers get into a decent mass. If you could get maybe the metalworking upgrade in as well, that would be pretty nice for him. But chariot archers numbers are increasing. So it's just an extra archery range, yep. And yep, scale armor, archer armor coming in as well for the +4 armor overall. So again, I feel like Metalworking pretty much a necessity now at this point if he wants this cavalry to really get home. Yeah, get anything done. Maybe he was thinking about trying to snipe. Maybe just waiting for the priest to come in and then try and go. Oh no, he's going for the engage now. Actually, just trying to snipe down. Let's see how this goes for the survivalist here. Armor upgrade comes in now though, and I think this is probably going to be enough for Vertex to just kite this fight out. He does lose the stone thrower, and he didn't actually make a second stone thrower behind this. But the walls are already wide open, so arguably that's not really a big deal at this point. Priest's not really actually going to do much now as well, because obviously the chariot archers resist the conversion and being ranged as well. This number pretty much quite easily deals with the priest. And again, maybe you've got to ask the question of why the hoplite wasn't being... I guess he just wanted the mobility to deal with the chariots, but the hoplites are much easier to spam for the Greeks just because how cheap they are. Yeah, but like you could just mass the hoplites so much easier is what I'm thinking, and then just like try and force something forward. Because at the moment, Unrestricted is just defending this one spot here, so the mobility isn't the biggest issue. And the faster Greek hoplites as well. Yeah, but if you just had a larger mass of them, you'd have to kite for a long time. But I see what you're saying. It's just, yeah, the cavalry units are very expensive, and we'll see if we can get the wraparound here, though. It's only the 22 cav archers to the 14. Again, I think he still doesn't have metal working, and is the biggest problem, I think. Priest trying to be a nuisance at the back, box formation, trying to micro dodge some arrows. But yeah, he just doesn't have the numbers, and he doesn't have the eco to get the numbers going. And Vertex, how many vills is it? Vertex actually only on 42 vills. I've only just noticed that. So a huge eco, and finally metalworking coming in for Survivalist. Potentially when he gets this upgrade in, maybe he can actually force the engage. But Vertex is getting a little chance to try moving on eco. It does have 6 eco kills, but like I said, Survivalist has been on those extra TCs for a lot longer. 79 vills to the 44. Trying to do a bit of a wraparound here. This is going to leave him wide open to the chariots pushing in though. And an extra couple of villager kills. And metalworking still a little bit way off. Camels being added by Vertex now, which you very rarely see from the Hittites, but obviously will be pretty good into the cavalry hit. So another thing that the hoplites may be better. City watch coming in for the extra line of sight on the buildings. But yeah, I think I would like to see the attempt at transition into the hoplites. But Survivalist, I mean, he's got 12k stone. I feel like he needs to start selling that. You can't build castles in AOE1, buddy. The ability is coming now on for Survivalist. I feel like the addition of the camels is going to like really kill off the attempt at the defense with the cavalry though. And the chariot cavalry a little bit out of position. I guess the priests could... I mean, still only one priest, that said. I was going to say priests could potentially deal with the camels. But I think the extra camels here are going to be... I was going to say the straw that broke the camel's back, but then I couldn't bring myself to say it. I think this might just be game on the spot, honestly. Mobility a little bit slow coming in. And, I mean, I'm saying that, it's a decent number of cavalry at the back. But I feel like the chariot archer mass is just too big at this point. The camels being a nuisance at the back. I mean, maybe it's still not over just yet. Still, like I said, a large eco lead for Survivalist here, but these camels just sniping vills at the back. See the engage over here. But like I said, cavalry just not quite good enough unless you can really get that mass against the chariots. Does manage to clear up those camels in the back though, so maybe it's not over just yet. Maybe I'm coming a little bit soon, but 38 to 19 military numbers has finally blocked that up with the houses at least. So maybe all is not lost. Stone thrower, if it could, you need like 2 or 3 stone throwers against the chariots just because they've got the extra HP. I don't know if Vertex actually has nobility. No, he doesn't have nobility yet. Hittites do get that upgrade, so that could basically be pretty huge. He definitely has the eco for it as well, although he just spent a bunch of his food there. Yeah, the 1900 stone Survivalist just needs to sell that. I think he was just mining it because he could, and he didn't feel like he had access to the stone. The gold, sorry. And another stable forwards. And metalworking coming in for Vertex now. I mean, Survivalist holding on for now. Like I said, he did a good job getting his eco up to a pretty decent number, though. He's lost 30 eco, so actually he's got up to 110 villagers, got 30 of them killed. But I think metalworking, and I'd like to see nobility. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have nobility. I'm not being crazy, am I? No, he doesn't have nobility yet. Does Vertex, that is. But nobility would be very nice for Vertex here, with all the mounted units. And only 10 cavalry left for Survivalist, and GG's called. And it goes to the 2-0. And like I said, I think personally I still would have preferred the hoplites. But yeah, just because like that would prevent the option of the camels, and he would have just been actually just able to get more units on the field. But yeah, just having the extra +1 on the Hittites, like I said right at the very beginning, just makes them very hard for the Greeks to deal with. So I think Survivalist had a very it was like a quite big uphill battle for him this game regardless. And like I said, he did well on the eco front, but just kind of never got the number of military units he needed to fully push Vertex out of his base. And yeah, GG's. And yeah, like I guess the 1900 stone probably should have just sold that and just tried to buy some other resources with it, because yeah, he wasn't really doing much with that. Maybe there was a thought at one point that he was going to put down towers, but just because Vertex was so in his face the entire time. Yeah, well, I think like he probably felt too pressured to be able to like actually get the towers up, possibly, or maybe just like there was so much going on in the game that it just like slipped his mind. I mean, he only pushed him out for like 30 seconds. Hittites need adjustments. The thing is like the Hittites don't have like any eco bonus at all, but it's just like the +1 damage for archery range units, and also the stone thrower bonus is pretty nice on this map. I think it's just like Hittites, like in more open maps, I think Hittites are completely fine. It's just like on Citadels where it's a little bit harder to push that early aggression, where they become a little bit more oppressive. But it's like some civs can deal with them. It's like arguably like Babylonians just like cancel out the effects of the Hittite bonuses for the most part, because like they get the +1 on their chariot archers, so that which effectively just straight cancels out the bonus from Hittite. And I'll just check the lobbies, and so we are actually at match point here at 2-0. Hopefully Survivalist can bring a game back, because he's playing pretty well. I think maybe just had slight civ disadvantages in both the games. I'll go back to the draft actually. So Vertex won on the Hittites and the Shank, and it was Greeks and Chosen. Survivalist does have the Egyptians, which you've got to think he's probably going to pull out now. But Vertex has Macedonians that do have some decent options into the Egyptians. And yeah, let's have the Palmyrians as well. Again, I'm a little bit upset Balbarians. The the Babylonians didn't get picked again in this series, because I do think the Babylonians are not the best civ, but I think they're still a good civ on Citadels, better than quite a few of the civs. Like, I think I'd personally prefer to have Babylonians over Karth, Assyrians, Persians, at the very least. Maybe you could argue back and forth with a few of the other civs. That's just my personal point of view as a noob gamer. But they are in the lobby for the next game. Let me just refresh AOE2 Rex. Hopefully we're not missing out. And for some reason AOE2 Rex is just being like really, really slow today, which I'm not a huge fan of. So we may miss the first minute or so of the game. Yeah, they have already launched. But 2 minutes in, yeah, it's not normally too much happens in the early game. And actually, Survivalist hasn't gone with the Egyptians, which I think if he loses this game, you gotta maybe question that decision. Goes with the Minoans into the Macedonians instead. And this is a little bit... This is probably the worst spawn I've seen today. It's not completely unplayable for Vertex. You could just delete the walls here and then he still has the wood at the back here. But it's not too fun having this as a side. So maybe just keeps the map. Survivalist, however, has a much better map, and he has the magic hidden berries, which you will definitely see. So quite nice for him there, as he'll have those safe berries again. Well, actually, no, it was Vertex that had the safe berries last game, wasn't it? And the forward berries for Vertex. And so Mace, again, not one of the fastest civs early on, so you don't usually see them go for tool aggression on Citadels. You normally want to get to your Bronze Age where you have your more powerful hoplites and siege, etc. But also, Minoans equally, they kind of just want to get the Bronze Age as well. So maybe one of the players tries to mix it up a bit, and maybe we see some Tool Age aggression, but I feel like this will just be Bronze Age. Survivalist wins replaced Iron. I mean, what do Minnows do to Centurions? Out of curiosity. Centurions. Boom. That doesn't sound like a winning play to me, as the Macedonians also get cheaper siege. But they don't get the full upgrades, obviously. They don't get like the heavy catapult or the Holopolis, the Macedonians. And they also don't get engineering, that's true. Yeah, but the Minnows actually have to pay for those upgrades still. I don't know. I guess if it goes like uber late game, then yeah. I just feel like early Iron Age Macedonians are way better. Like, the Centurions just like completely deny the composite bowman. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I feel like you have to get like really deep into the game for that to be the case, but you may know better than me, to be fair. Vert rush again. Yeah, 20 vills up. Villager going forward. And like I said, Minoans one of the slower civs, as they don't really have any bonuses until you get your farm economy going and kind of get to the Bronze Age. Much stronger as a water civ than anything else, especially now that the stone throwers are much more of a threat in the Bronze Age. Forward barracks, obviously. And so yeah, Vertex not anywhere near as hesitant as Cool was to get his barracks down, even if they are a little bit further away than maybe some players would like. Still pretty nice and close. More or less in the middle of the map. Second villager comes forward. Actually a third villager here. Not exactly sure what that's about. But 24 up for Survivalist again. It's interesting he always goes for 24 instead of 23. But I've seen, like, Say My Name, I think, did that in a couple of games as well. So maybe some players are more comfortable going for the slightly slower approach. Although that can leave you a little bit more vulnerable. So yeah, going for the clubbers again. Again, I'm not 100% sure if I like this compared to just going straight slingers. Yeah, I think Cool kind of threw in the draft phase of his match against Say My Name. Didn't pick. He let Say My Name have like 3 of the best remaining civs that weren't banned, and picked some pretty poor civs himself, I'd argue. We're going for the medium wall in the corner. You will actually be able to get wrap a few more units around this, so that's not a bad idea. Because obviously the wall does actually have less health than the gate. It's just that the gate has a larger face to attack, which is why people normally go for that. And it looks like Survivalist again is switching out of going to the bronze and just going into defensive mode again. And he did hold reasonably well in the first game, but ultimately did lose that game. So we'll see if he can muster a bit stronger defense. In fact, he goes straight into the watchtower in this game. Hopefully he gets the slinger upgrade in this time, because I do remember him missing out on the stone mining upgrade last time. And stone is forward, actually. Ah, so this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. His stone's forward. And he's teched into tower. But in fact, it's Vertex that's going to tower the stone. And yeah, he's already made a few slingers, so he also can't even make a tower anyway. And I think Survivalist may have just slam dunked himself there, unfortunately. Yeah, not having access to that stone now is going to mean that he's only going to be able to make 15 slingers at maximum unless he starts buying stone. And if he wants the stone mine upgrade for the extra range and attack, that's an extra 50 stone as well. And houses going down, and I think, unfortunately, he does have some military and defense. 4 slingers now. But Vertex already has wood cutting in. And I think wood cutting bows are just better than slingers without the stone mining upgrade. For the most part. If you've got a decent number of them, that is. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Market is up. It doesn't have any food though. Again, Survivalist still with some slightly better idle time, so it does have a slight fill advantage. He's trying to push forward here though. Might be able to get some decent damage done actually. The slinger's doing a good job of tanking up the tower. Axes. Slinger's a little bit too close there. But in fact, Survivalist does manage to hold for the time being. Like I said, he's actually ahead on villagers, so maybe I was calling this way too early. Oh, of course, the hidden berries. The hidden berry bonus. I completely forgot about that. Like I said, I'm calling the jackpot berries, because it's just free win every time. Again, the biggest problem I think for Survivalist is he's not going to have access to this stone. So we can't really push this tower. I mean, I guess you could take this stone here, but it's out in the open. Vertex is nearly enough food for bronze, and Survivalist is nowhere near. Is the other problem. I mean, Survivalist is getting the farm eco up as well. Minoans with faster working farmers. Survivalist trying to sort of push out himself it, but I mean, yeah, he has a few bows in defense. In fact, Vertex himself isn't actually on stone, so he can't really keep adding. I mean, he can add in another 4 slingers. I don't know if this is worth diving. Probably just, yeah. And I mean, Survivalist, like I said, villagers ahead, but Vertex is up to bronze. I mean, Survivalist is not far off himself, actually. So maybe there's more to this game than meets the eye. And yeah, Survivalist, 21 military units. I mean, you can't plug up the hole because the tower's there. Yeah, the stone being denied is really awkward. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could try and wrap round. Yeah, like he could try and be sneaking there. That might be a good idea, actually. Now you say that. The outside berries maybe get picked off here. Domestication coming in for Survivalist as well. As like I said, he gets up his... I mean, that's not going to affect the current farms, obviously, but all the future farms he puts down. One scout, which might be a villager kill here. No, Vertex realises in time. Yeah, Survivalist not terribly far behind, but as Unrestricted points out, maybe Survivalist needs to try and plug this hole. And I wonder if Vertex assumes Survivalist will have been up to the Bronze Age or not. But the other thing is that it's probably going to take... I mean, he's going archery ranges, but it's probably going to take Survivalist too long to tech into composite bowmen. So this might be another case where, again, maybe the stable should have come down. Maybe just build a few cavalry units for the early Bronze Age. Cavalry units are coming out for Vertex already. Yeah, improved bow comes in, but it takes quite a long time to get improved bow and composite bow out. And obviously you can't even start making improved bow until the upgrade's in. And house wall, there is actually a gap there. Is there a gap there? Yeah, there is a gap here. And there we go. Little wall goes in. And Croc in the back. And Tool Army might get caught out just by the cavalry here. And it might be actually worth Survivalist just camping his military here. He should be able to deal with... Looks like he's just trying to kill the Tool Army. I was going to say he probably can just take out the cavalry here. He's got enough bows. But now those are all going to get eaten up. And composite bowman, yeah, 1:40 for the composite bowman. He is getting the improved archer bowman numbers out though, and he's sort of building ward for the time being, which will give him some time, not a lot of time. Houses only have 75 HP, of course, but he can just sit his units behind it. Should be able to defend this for the time being. Needs to get more of his military engaged. And artisan ship already coming in as well. But yeah, the house needs to be repaired. And the units, yeah, 4 villagers just about holding the line here. In fact, extra TC has been added for Vertex. Because Survivalist has been pretty good at keeping his villager production going. He is still ahead. 2 TCs are added. Now that the composite bowman upgrade is in, but here we go. Switching into the hoplites and stone throwers for the Macedonians. So again, perhaps Survivalist needs to just get a additional stable back down to get some melee units, maybe get some cavalry or even scouts just to try and snipe the stone throwers would be nice. It's got a lot of gold in Bankos. I think cavalry would actually be the better option here. I mean, I can check the collected just for you. I mean, you can see what resources they have. I don't really get why you care so much about the collected, but yeah, Survivalist has more. Like, the current game state, I feel, is more important than the overall collection, right? But yeah, you can see it has quite a lot of resources in bank, so we could, like I said, go into the cavalry. But yeah, reasonable amount of composite bowmen out. Could maybe try and think about pushing this back to try and reclaim his stone. Bronze shield in, giving those Macedonian hoplites the 2 pierce armor. So limiting the effectiveness of the composite bowman a little bit, but obviously again, like I said in the other game, hoplites still fairly slow in the Bronze Age before you can get to the aristocracy upgrade. Just clubber chilling for Survivalist, and 62 still ahead. Again, they've had the flipping runes on, so conquest mode wasn't enabled. Hopefully that doesn't become relevant at all. Couple of stone throwers and 10 range. It's going to actually. Yeah, that means that I hadn't even realised that. That means that the Minoan compies don't actually outrange the stone throwers anymore. There are enough compies that I think if Survival's micro is good, but he takes a big hit there. I was going to say spread formation. Oh man. Okay, one stone thrower goes down. He does have a stone thrower of his own. He's going to get eaten up though by the cavalry, but he deals with all the stone throwers, which is the biggest threat for the time being. And yeah, stone throwers of his own coming out. And Survivalist, like I said, we're just with the eco advantage here, in a very nice position. A lot of wood. Probably wants to try and get more villagers onto farms, get that Minoan bonus going. And now, maybe Vertex gets pushed back here. The tower goes down. Survivalist finally plugs up the hole. 35 compies already. I think Vertex kind of needs to rebuild at home and try and just get the numbers pumping up again. Cavalry could snipe a few, like these compies here a little bit out of position, so maybe cavalry could snipe a few compies here. That'd be good for him. And okay, yeah, so yeah, cavalry managing to pick up a few units here. As it looks like Survivalist units a little bit spread out of position, just sort of idling attacking buildings for the time being. And see, I think stone thrower is going to have to be the way for Vertex to try and keep him in this. And maybe he actually starts thinking about trying to work his way to the Iron Age to get that extra pierce armor, sorry, for the hoplites and this aristocracy upgrading. Makes those much more threatening against the composite bowmen. Yep, looks like Survivalist pretty solid position at the moment. I wouldn't say it's completely over just yet though. A few hoplites kind of just running to their death. They do get one kill, but I think they're getting swept up. Vertex probably, like I said, just needs to regroup instead of like sending all his units in one by one. But yeah, compy mass now though, and 6 TCs for Survivalist, so maybe now the eco just takes over. And yeah, Survivalist, very, like, no eco damage done at all by Vertex there. Survivalist managing to hold it pretty well. And yeah, I guess maybe it was just like when Vertex went up to bronze, he let off the gas a little bit. Let Survivalist sort of regroup. And now he's just not managed to get the push going. The compy numbers are up. And this is exactly where you want to be as a Minoan player. And yeah, stone throwers of his own is going to sort of help defend against enemy stone throwers. And these academies that got built outside the base probably just going to go down. A few more in the base though. couple of siege workshops at home as well. And Iron Age is in for Survivalist. City Watch as well, just for the extra vision. Always quite nice at this point in the game, just to try and, once you start building a few buildings out in the open as well, it gives you a lot more view of what's going on. And yep, now I think I am comfortable saying that Survivalist is in a very good spot here. It's definitely his game to lose at this point. As Iron Age is still a ways off for Vertex. He could buy his way up. He's got a lot of gold. And this mass of composite bowmen, and so when the Iron Age comes in, the +2 range on the compies gets restored. Switching in to some infantry unit of his own. I guess, yeah, maybe just going for the hoplites on his own. Yep. And it looks like, yeah, like I said, the eco advantage. Iron Age is going to come in, but I don't think Vertex is really going to manage to hold this. Don't know why these bows are just chilling. Ooh, should be a big hit though from the stone throwers. Survivalist stone throwers a little bit out of position. Okay, they're hit, but a lot of kills on the stone from the stone throwers on the compies there. In fact, Vertex with the cavalry raid has managed to get in. I guess he got let in through the gate. So this could be a costly mistake from Survivalist, but Iron Age is in. And he's actually not got any gold, so that's going to slow down things for him. 21 kills. And I think Survivalist, I said it was his game to throw, and he may have just done that. Done just that, I should say. The cavalry does get killed off now, but this slows down Survivalist's Iron Age. Like I said, he's only just getting back onto gold now. And this probably gives Vertex the time to get to Iron Age. And then can he get up the massive hoplites behind this? Like, Survivalist is still making composite bowmen, and I feel like Phalangite with tower shield from the Macedonians is more than a counter to the composite bowmen. Like I said, Phalangite of Survivalist's own coming in here. So we're probably going to see some Academy action. And then maybe we are going to get to the point of what we said, where it's Centurion and Centurion with additional siege. And we'll see how that does pan out. Obviously, Survivalist still in the better position economically with the Villager lead and the Minoan bonus. So he still has that going from him now. He's taking control with the towers. Alchemy coming in as well. Iron Shield, Phalangite, and Aristocracy all coming in, plus Catapult. No Catapult upgrade for Survivalist as of yet. And yeah, the Catapult upgrade is going to be pretty big here for Vertex. And metalworking, yep. So I think the only thing missing from Survivalist here is the Catapult upgrade. So I think that is going to be a big deciding factor here. Still only 19 units though for Vertex. But Tower Shield, sorry, coming in now. And he's pumping from 6 academies. So I think the composite bowmen, their reign is pretty much over. Assuming that Vertex doesn't just keep throwing away units. It looks like he was trying to go for some forward play there, actually. Conscription coming in from Survivalist, very nice. Catapult finally comes in now. But it looks like, I mean, yeah, it's just Vertex just isn't getting the numbers up is the biggest problem. Poppy's going to pick off quite a few villagers here as well. Guard tower upgrade already in for Vertex. It's made it a little bit messy. Units kind of all over the place at the moment. Ballista. Don't really like that from Vertex. I don't think that's a good idea. Especially as you can see your opponent has stone throwers of their own. I think that's a little bit of a throw. Yeah, Iron Shield needed to be... Well, he didn't really even engage, he just has like units just running around. But Iron Shield is in... Tower Shield, I should say, is in now, not Iron Shield. And these Centurions should just absolutely eat these Composite Bowmen now. Catapult and Aristocracy coming in now. And Survivalist does have Phalangite numbers. But like I said, the Composite Bowmen probably not... Might as well, I think you might as well just stop making them at this point, because, like I said, they basically do nothing against the Macedonian Phalangite. They only do 1 damage per shot, and the Phalangite has 120 HP. But I guess they're reasonably cheap still, so no harm in pumping them, I guess. It's just if gold does become an issue later on, then arguably you could say that wasn't a good use of the gold. Again, the Ballista, I'm not... This doesn't sit well with me, the Ballista, especially when you don't have engineering. I feel like Ballista isn't really a playable unit if you don't have engineering. It's okay against the Phalangites, sure, but when Survivalist has catapults of his own, I don't think it's a good idea. And also he still has compies. And the Ballistas basically do nothing against compies, especially Minoan's ones. I mean, he has stopped making compies now. Is he at max pop, actually? Yeah, he is actually at max pop. And we'll see. I mean, like I said, Vertex just isn't getting the unit count out. Is the biggest problem for him. As Survivalist has just had the eco lead for the entire game, and I'll show that just for unrestricted sake. You can see huge eco lead for Survivalist, and yeah, you can see how much food he is. I mean, yeah, you can see how much resources he has in bank. And now Centurion coming in for both players actually, but 30 Phalangite to the 13. Vertex, like I said, I'm just not a huge fan of these. Holopolis. No, but not even Holopolis, it's just Ballista. The Macedonians don't get the Holopolis. I think, yeah, these are all just going to get absolutely flattened by the catapults. Complete waste of resources, in my opinion. Yeah. Not the go-to. And Survivalist managed to hold... Ooh, okay, another little raid. I was about to say to hold that cavalry raid. I don't think this is going to be enough to really make a difference. This is going to be more of an annoyance than anything. Does he... Well, as that said... Wait, what is going on here? How are we still making Phalangite? I guess that's a bug, because these were like in queue... because he's max pop. It's not queuing the Phalangite. I think these will change to Centurions as like pop space is freed up. And yeah, I mean, Survivalists just need to push it. Medium wall architecture coming in. I mean, this is where the Ballistas can do damage against the Centurions. But as I said, okay, here we go. He's moved back into the Centurion spam, which I feel like he should have done a long time ago. I think Vertex is out of gold though. He has the gold at the front here, but he's been denied it. No more villagers and gold. Survivalist just has basically complete map control. Looks like Vertex is trying to steal a bit of control with the towers here though. With the guard towers. The only sentry tower for Survivalist. And I think all those Centurions got dealt with. That were in the base, and Survivalist just kind of chilling. Feels like he's just trying to get control of the map before pushing in. And see a little bit of push here. And I think with this number of composite bowmen, oh no, so that said, they still like we're basically just tickling the Centurions here. But I mean, Survivalist just has thousands of resources in bank. I mean, Vertex still has a good amount of wood and food, but obviously neither of these civs get the chariot. with this number of composite bowmen, you can still sort of deal with Centurions. And I don't know, Survivalist. Oh, he does have engineering. Okay, that's good. I feel like, yeah, 2 military units left. There we go, tap out. And very nice game from Survivalist there. Very good hold from him. The very early pressure from Vertex was a bit challenging, but he didn't lose any villagers. Like if we go all the way back, no, a bit further than this. Like you can still see the eco kill death by the time that both players reached bronze was just still 0. And it's actually that cavalry little raid that he got off that did more damage. Don't know exactly where that was, around here. Here we go. And this slowed Survivalist down a little bit as he reached the Iron Age, as he got completely knocked off gold. But then, as soon as this got cleared up, like I said, Vertex just never got the military numbers above about 30-ish, I think. Yeah, it was always just like a bit below. He just had the units roaming around the map, and they were just getting picked off here and there. So I think, yeah, it was about this point, maybe a little bit earlier in this actually, when I was saying he just needs to pull the units back. Because he just kept throwing away a lot of units in the mid game there. Well, mid-late game, I should say, I guess. And like I said, the composite bowmen shouldn't really deal with the Centurions at this point, but you just had so many of them, and there were so few units from Vertex, and they were just sort of not really concentrated. I think this was the one good attack Vertex got in the entire game, really, other than the little cavalry raid he had. But other than this, it was just yeah, he's just streaming in units that are just getting picked off left and right. So yeah, anyway, Survivalist does pull one game back. So we do continue the series for the time being. And see if Survivalist, I can't remember what his remaining civs are. I'll just get us back to the draft in a second. Just having to do the traditional restarting of Capture Age. Oh, he's still got Egyptian, hasn't he? Yeah, because he used Minoans there, of course, yep. So he does still have Egyptians. And I think Macedonians are kind of the only civ that can really try to contest the Egyptians that Vertex had left. So I think Egyptians should deal very easily with all 3 of these remaining civs for Vertex here. So if Survivalist does pick the Egyptians here, and then maybe goes Palmyrans as his last civ, potentially, I think I prefer Egyptians and Palmyrans to any of Vertex's civs that he has left. I think my preferred civ out of Vertex's is actually the Phoenicians, just because of the eco bonus. I guess Assyrians can still be pretty decent in the Bronze Age. Yeah, like I said, I feel like if he goes Egyptians now and then Palmyrans in the last game, then Survivor's actually in a pretty good spot. But he did pick Persians before he picked Palmyrans, and I almost feel like he actually just clicked random because he just didn't care about the last civ, which hopefully isn't the case. Okay, damn it! I saw the game go live on AOE2 Rex and I flipping refreshed it. Because this came up instantly, so I said maybe it was a bug, but I think now he actually just clicked random. I've not seen the civs yet because I stupidly refreshed AOE2 Rex when I didn't actually need to. I mean, I feel like he should probably not be saving the Egyptians till the last game, but it looks like. Oh no, he's picked Egyptians. You throw me off there. Let me go into the game and then gets to Capture Age. But no, Survivalist has gone the Egyptians, and it's the Carthaginians for Vertex. And I think this is probably a game where you've got to use the Karth bonuses, or bonus I should say, to try and go for a tool age play again. Vertex has been playing aggressive in most of the games so far this series, and the biggest weakness of the Egyptians is that their bonuses don't really kick in until you've started placing, basically like early Bronze Age, because you're normally still in a fast bronze, you're still normally on the berries, so it's only like after that when you start making it, taking advantage of the cheaper farms and all the other bonuses. So if you can cut in underneath that, the Egyptians essentially have no bonuses at all. So yeah, one of the ways to try and exploit those Egyptians is to try and get in before the Bronze Age ever comes in. Yep, and yeah, Karth again, yeah, like I say, Karth basically just has nothing after the early game. Their only real bonus of any relevance is the extra starting resources. And then most of their other bonuses are actually like they're all like academy and elephant bonuses. So I guess they get the camel bonus. And they get free what's it called? This upgrade. Nobility, that's the one. For some reason I forgot the name of it. After they built their government centre. I feel like they should just get it for free regardless of having the government centre or not. Yeah, well, that's the other thing as well, is Karth is a civ that doesn't get chariots, and chariots do resist conversion, so that they can try and deal with the priests, but when you just simply don't have that option as the Carthaginians. So yeah, I think Vertex. Oh no, sorry, yeah, Carthaginians Vertex. I was getting confused between the players there. I think basically Vertex has to go for some early aggression. And we'll see if, because Survivalist has been going up 24 vils every time, and we'll see if he maybe tries to go up a little bit earlier in anticipation of this. But I'm not. Maybe Survivalist's knowledge of the game isn't good enough that he maybe won't predict the play. But I feel like a more experienced player would expect the rush from Karth here. Yes, also he has already rushed it several times, so maybe Survivalist just expects it because of that, possibly. He still has 4 villagers in queue though, and only 1 in queue for Vertex, so it is going to be the forward push. I'm just going to take a drink before the action begins. Little bit of idle time for Vertex. About 30 seconds we're going to have here. I feel like he just has to rush though. Yeah. Wait, I feel like the better play for Survivalist. I think 22 is fine, but I think if he goes for 24, he's putting himself at an unnecessary risk. Now there we go, 23 vils. Okay. At least it's not 24 vils, is all I'll say. Because he has been going 24 vils most games. So this will, and he has only 3 seconds idle time. So he is, in a way, this is kind of like, oh no, it did go 24. Interesting. Why did that look like it started going? Okay, all right. I was praising it. Now I'm not so sure anymore. First clubber comes out. Yeah, we're going slightly the wrong way. I think he's going to still find though. Send the artifact over there. And he finds the berries here, so that should be a giveaway. Because I'm pretty sure there aren't any other berry spawns on the map. Yeah. And barrack goes down for Survivalist. There's only 1 barracks up. It's just going to be an archery range again. Again, it's interesting that Vertex goes for the 1 barracks into archery range every time. I feel like just the full slingers is just better, personally, because it's just a little bit harder to deal with. But Vertex has made it work in one of the games, but then it didn't really work in the last game. And yeah, archery range and defense. This is the thing. It's like if you go for the early axes, you have to invest in the upgrades, and it's just so easy to go archery range and defense. Like axes on open maps are absolutely deadly. Obviously, we all know that. But when you've already got medium wall in front, and yes, it's just so easy for Survivalists to add in bows. Oh, please do not open the gate. Oh, Survivalists, you should have locked that gate. You know better than that, buddy. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, he has a bow. Oh, he's going to lose a villager here. Probably. Yeah. Sloppy. I mean, it probably means that Vertex doesn't actually break the wall anytime soon, but the axes are already in, so... Oh, actually, I don't think he had the armor upgrade in. No, he doesn't. So the villagers can do something here. Okay. So Survivalist choosing his fights well here. So yeah, a little bit sloppy. This gate should definitely have been locked. For those who are not familiar to gates from AOE done DE, you can choose to lock the gate so that nothing can actually move through it. And Survivalist does actually get the small wall up behind the gate this time. I mean, yeah, I think, like I said, in a way, it wasn't the end of the world if these axes didn't do too much damage, because now the gate's just not going to go down. And yeah, like you say, Survivalist, I mean, he's had quite a bit of idle time for his villagers, just trying to sort out these axes in his base, which he now gets rid of. But like military count, basically equal, and Survivalist does have access to his stone this time if he does want to add in more slingers or go for the stone mining upgrade. Although I still feel like he doesn't know what the stone mining upgrade actually does, because I've not seen him research it at all for his slingers. Decent slinger mass, and stone mining is now coming in for Vertex. So potentially he can still break in. It's just it feels like Survivalist is probably ready for that play at this point. Just a house coming at the back, farms going up, and still a little bit way off bronze. Yeah, Survivalist is just focusing back on it. I think he's just trying to work his way to Bronze Age, so he just thinks he's got himself set up now. Whereas Vertex is still trying to push with the slingers. And he is. That wall didn't get any hits on it. And again, the lack of the stone mining upgrade for the slinger. I mean, he's only got 2, so it probably isn't worth it in this situation. But he's going to have... Okay, he's just choosing to wall it shut. Okay. That does mean that these villagers are going to be trapped, so he's going to have to, like, delete a house. And the villagers... Oh, it's already too late. So, yeesh, I think Bronze Age needs to be cancelled here by Survivalist. If he runs the villagers out, he's going to stick with the Bronze Age. Barracks going up defensively. I mean, you don't get cavalry as Egyptians to help deal with these slingers, so maybe he just has to go. Maybe he just goes for the camels instead. But he has to get on the gold to do that and get some stables up. Stable is going up. Oh, this is interesting. Stable storage pit on the stone. I feel like stone's a bit too late now that the slinger's already in. He's trying to make slingers of his own though. That's why he's doing that. Yeah, he's going to need... I feel like he needs to get on gold to try and get some camels out at least to try and deal with this. Obviously, it's not ideal. You don't prefer cavalry, but Egyptians don't get cavalry. And 18 slingers now. And yeah, I think maybe Survivalist should have cancelled the Bronze Age upgrade. Because I think this is going to be another case of getting to the Bronze, but not having the resources to actually do anything with it. I don't think it even has resources for wheel yet. Sells wood. I think this is going to be GG though. Camels, yeah, was the attempt. But it's a suboptimal unit, really, you've got to argue, for the situation. It's kind of the best he can do. I don't really understand why he's gone for stone here. I'm not really sure what the stone does. Again, I guess he was trying to add some slingers in. But I don't. I think maybe he had to drop stables, cancel bronze, and just try and pump scouts. Maybe would be the best play. But it's tough. And I think, and yeah, Watchtower is coming down, so he's going to forward towers from Vertex as well. Wheel is going to come in, but the wheel has come off of Survivalist's game plan. GG is called. Yep, I think that's correct decision. And that's a 3-1 to Vertex. Some solid plays by Survivalist. I think, again, maybe just his lack of knowledge of the game is worked against him slightly. Guess I should have pumped army like the one. Yeah, like I said, I think going for the bronze there was a little bit too much of a risk with how many stone slingers that Vertex was making. You still played very well. Yeah, basically guessing. I mean, you're obviously a really good AOE2 player, so you've got really good eco management and macro in general. But yeah, if you just had a little bit of that more knowledge there, I think you probably could have held in a couple of games. But some solid games played, and thanks for playing Survivalist. Hope you enjoyed the games at least. Basically, already won. Yeah, like I said, I think in that position there, just going for the bronze was a little bit too greedy. Well, I'm glad. Hopefully, you did enjoy it, Survivalist, and hopefully you come back from little events in the future. Because we're happy to have AOE2 players, well, all players really, and try out the game. But yeah, Vertex 3-1. So unfortunately, Survivalist is out because it's just a straight knockout competition over the weekend. Cool, good to know. Yeah, GG, well played, Vertex. And yeah, Vertex will advance on to the semi-finals, play tomorrow. And we do actually have 2 more games to be played for the rest of today. I think there's going to be a little bit of a gap between now and the next games. And it's going to be Bongo against Unrestricted and Yeti against Diante are going to be the last 2 games. I mean, unless Bongo is around now, though it's 2 hours early. I don't think we have Bongo's here. We'll see. When did he message there? I don't know. I don't know Dutch, so I can't understand. I mean, if you can play now, I guess I can cast it. I don't want to cast all 4 games today, though. My throat's starting to get... I've been streaming for like 3 hours now. And... you're watching highlights, say my name versus Cool. Yeah, I could maybe watch some of that game back a little bit. We see if Bongo's ready to play now, like right this moment, I don't mind casting. But like, otherwise, I probably let someone else take the reins for the evening games. And we'll just go chill out. I need to make food at some point as well. Actually, it's only like 5 o'clock here, so I've got like about an hour and a half before I really normally eat. So I'll give Bongo like 5 minutes or so to respond to unres. He's not home. Okay, no, that's fine. Alrighty then. So, well, yep. Thank you again to the players for. It was pretty short notice that this tournament got organised. So thanks for the guys for showing up and all that, playing the games and stuff on pretty short notice. And like I said, we should have a couple of games later. I'm not sure who's going to stream. I don't know if we'll have someone else to cast some of the other games later or not. Maybe it is just me that casts all the games. I don't know. We'll see. And I guess we'll try and find someone to host for the time being. Until then. In fact, oh no, I was going to say a Survivalist streaming, but I imagine he's probably going to bed now. This is very late in Japan, where he is currently staying. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to find a stream. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'll have a break at least, and then we'll sort of figure out what's going on with the rest of today. Because I know obviously you're playing in the next match. So, a little bit difficult to cast that one. Cool is streaming. Maybe we send you to Cool. Is he playing DE though? Just put a little. Let me see. Okay. I don't know what Cool's even doing. Humdy dum dum. Just trying to find. See if anyone else is streaming. Everyone's just on. Like I said, it's a bit difficult to find actual RTR streams because I think most of the RTR streams are on the AOE2 channel and they get a bit buried under all the AOE2 streams. Is the big problem. Okay, so I think I can't really find anyone to actually stream, so I might just leave it there. Raid, I mean, not stream. I can maybe send you over to. Do I send you to Boozer? He's playing DE. Give the old guy some love, I guess. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna get off for now. So, how do you spell his name? I am Boo. There we go. Go say hi to Boozer. Otherwise, I will probably catch you tomorrow, if not later tonight, depending on who's streaming. But yeah, cheers for watching, and I'll see you guys later.